Hi guys, and welcome back to my Simple Intentional Life. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that I've been struggling with, and that's how to beat procrastination. Today I'm going to go over 10 tips that I have to keep in mind every time I'm faced with a task that seems larger than life. I want to be able to tackle that so that I can feel better about my productivity, and yet I find myself doing anything else but that in order to procrastinate. Now, I have had a problem with procrastination for a long time, and my main problem with procrastination is that I will find any excuse to do things that are considered useful in place of what is considered essential. For example, I've been meaning to film this very video for the past week, and I just let life take over. So when I let life take over, things just don't get accomplished because there's never going to be that perfect time for you to conquer that obstacle that you're facing. So why not just get it done first? So that is actually my first tip. Do it first. In other words, eat that frog first thing in the morning. A book by Brian Tracy by the same name tells us that we need to manage our priorities over our time. We can use procrastination wisely by remembering the Pareto principle. This says that 80% of our effects are caused by 20% of our behavior. So for example, there are 80% profits from 20% of customers. There's 80% productivity from 20% of work. And even when you apply this to your wardrobe, there's probably 80% of your wardrobe that you don't use, and you continue to use the same 20% over and over, which serves your lifestyle. By using this principle, you can say to yourself, well, I can actually procrastinate wisely by putting off those things that don't have a great effect and focusing really on that 20% of items that's really going to bring in the most productivity. Tip number 2, have a plan. This means using a to-do list or a task manager or setting up a system or a routine in place that will allow for you to do this thing that you have to get done. If you put a routine into place, this will allow you to form a habit around what you need to get done every day so that you're always working towards your goal that's most important. For me, I have tried to put into place The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. His book by the same name is really focusing on setting up a routine of things that nurture your soul and move you forward in your biggest goals. So each morning, even on the weekends, I try to get up at the same time so that I can get myself together, get myself ready, and then have some extra time to focus on the things that I like to do, which are mostly journaling, videotaping, and researching / reading / going on blogs and surfing the internet for different topics that interest me. Some of the to-do lists online that you can use are Evernote, or a simple to-do list like your Notes app in the iPhone. Tip number 3, create reminders for yourself. This means using technology to your advantage by setting up reminders for things that are important and putting them into your schedule so that you don't accidentally forget them. For example, appointments with business associates. It might even be a set time to write every day. It might be a time to videotape every day. It might be a time to edit every day. It might be a time to go out in nature or knit or scrapbook or whatever it is that you give high priority to. And if it means spending time with those you love, then you can actually put it into your schedule and set a reminder so that you can say, hey, this time is coming up and I'm going to be spending it with my family. And sometimes that alone is enough to keep you accountable for the top priority that you've set for that reminder. Tip number 4, be prepared. So a lot of the procrastination that I have dealt with has come from lack of preparation. For example, filming these videos, what I want to say, how I want to say it, and the manner in which I want to organize or research that topic. And if you are prepared, that'll make things go a lot easier. And when you do have the time to put in a few minutes towards that goal, you'll notice that you're not going to be paralyzed by lack of preparation. Now, on the flip side, you can also overanalyze and overplan and never get to the actual action. You want to be careful about analysis paralysis, which is simply to say you get so stuck in the analysis phase of planning that you never get to the actual project. Another reason we procrastinate is because we lack organization. We don't have what we need nearby, so we spend time running around looking for these things that really we should have close by so that we have everything we need to get the project done. In the example that I've been using about filming these videos, the things that I need to have close by are obviously my camera, my notebook with notes in it, and my smile. For some people who are locked away in an office and they're working all day, it may be something as simple as having access to a bathroom nearby, having snacks and drinks close by, and making sure that you don't have to get up and physically leave your work area in order to get these things. Tip number 6, make yourself accountable. So for me, I'm telling you guys, I have a problem with procrastination. So now I know that you know my dirty little secret. So I'm going to have to get on it and be accountable to you all so that when I sit down and think about I need to film this video on this topic, I won't put it off any longer than necessary. So definitely accountability serves its purpose in beating procrastination. You can tell a friend, you can tell a colleague, you can tell your boss, you can tell a family member, you can even tell the internet and the YouTube world what you plan to do and when you plan to do it. Tip number 7, block social media. And for that matter, you might need to block the whole internet. For me, I use the internet and social media to really do a lot of my research on different topics and ideas that I might have about filming a video. So I can't completely block it, but I do find that when I go and search off for, let's say, simplicity, and I come across a pretty little tiny house, and then I take that and I start looking at small appliances, then I figure out how to do homesteading, and before you know it, I'm completely off topic, and I've even forgotten what I was initially looking for. So if you have the opportunity to block social media, block the internet, do it. There are plenty of apps online that let you do that either from your phone or from your computer so that you don't have to be worried about reminders or notifications or simply tempted by all that information out there. Tip number 8, choose done over perfect. Now, I have a problem with this because I really like things to be perfect. And if they're not perfect, I don't necessarily consider them done yet. So I really have to work on this. So this is one of my personal struggles. But I really believe in this principle to beat procrastination is to pick done over perfect, meaning many of the things that are out there today that have started out as a beta model or have started out as a trial product or a version 1, think iPhone and iPad and different apps out there, none of those are perfect to begin with. So you get them out there, you see how people respond, you see how people like the idea, if they're interested in buying a product, if they like the presentation of whatever it is that you're putting out there, and then you tweak it and make it better, but you'll never make it perfect because we're human and we're not perfect. God knows that. And in the famous words of Dave Ramsey, take baby steps. Now, Dave Ramsey focuses his baby steps on becoming financially independent and free of debt. But you can use those same baby steps when you're tackling a big project or you're finding yourself procrastinating about a certain priority in your life. So for me, I feel like baby steps with recording videos would be maybe just doing an outline about an idea that I want. And then once that idea is kind of on paper, I might do some research at a different time. And then the next baby step might be to just record the intro. And then the next baby step might be to actually flesh out the meat of the video. And then I would follow that up by editing and putting in a thumbnail and then actually posting. So there are a lot of little steps we can take along the way, and you can apply this to anything. If you're meal planning for health, you can start by thinking about what you like to eat. Then you may want to go and think about what you need to buy. Then you may want to look up some recipes. Then you might actually do the shopping. Then you might actually put together the ingredients so that you know you have your little bundle of ingredients that are for that particular meal, and eventually cook. So there's a way to do this for any priority in life. It's just a matter of remembering to do it, right? So for me, I really have to keep in mind the baby steps, because I did work Dave Ramsey's baby steps and was able to get out of debt. So if it works for that huge task, it'll definitely work for anything you put your mind to. Tip number 10, time yourself or use time blocks. In other words, don't just sit down and say, I'm going to work today and leave it out in the open and then feel overwhelmed and, totally kind of out of sorts because you don't know how long you're going to be working, if you're going to have time for anything else, if you're going to be able to go to the bathroom, if you're going to have a snack or lunch. So to conquer this, I like to think of it as time blocking or timing yourself. Now, there's a lot of people who talk about time blocking, and I can't remember offhand who actually coined that term, but a time block is essentially a chunk of time in your day, usually in a cyclical way, meaning you're going to work for a half an hour and then take a 10-minute break, and then you're going to work for another half an hour and take a 10-minute break. And actually, there is something called the Pomodoro method, which talks about 20 minutes of work followed by 10 minutes of rest, or 20 and 15, I'm not really sure, 20 and 5. I'll have to check it in, and I might just insert it right here so that way you get the actual right Pomodoro principle. What I'm talking about here is more or less scheduling your day and saying, okay, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm going to be focusing on this topic between 1 and 2. And you block that time free of other interruptions so that you can get the work done. If you do this systematically and routinely, you will definitely move ahead in your goal. Some apps out there right now that are pretty popular for this type of time blocking or timing yourself is an app called Forest, where you're responsible for growing a forest by focusing time on planting a seed and growing a tree. It's a cute thing to really have a visual for productivity timing. And if you plant enough trees, you actually raise money to donate to plant real trees. So that's a really great app to look at. I'm pretty sure it's for Apple or iOS. I'm not sure if it's for Android, but check it out. Forest, Forest. Another one that has been used pretty frequently is called Be Focused. Be Focused is actually what it says. It is a goal tracker, and it sets time for you to work on those goals. So I even think that Be Focused is also a timer, or they have an option to time yourself for certain tasks. So it'll do dual function as a timer and a goal tracker. So check out the internet. There's so much technology out there now to help you beat procrastination. Just don't get lost in the World Wide Web. So really what I want to say to you guys is that we all have to deal with procrastination. It's a human trait that many of us are struggling with. And I, for one, definitely have that issue. I will do everything I can to get up early, get ready early, and have time to actually work on my goals, but I'll find different things to do to take the place of actually working on those goals. And I'm not sure what's keeping me back there. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's lack of preparation like we spoke about, sometimes there are distractions. But if you take these 10 simple steps and use what works for you, you'll find that you'll be more focused and you'll be able to accomplish your goals a lot quicker. So to wrap it up again, let me go over the 10 principles to beat procrastination. Number 1, do it first. Number 2, have a routine or set up a to-do list. Number 3, set up reminders. Number 4, be prepared, but don't succumb to analysis paralysis. Number 5, have everything you need nearby, including snacks. Number 6, make yourself accountable. Number 7, block social media. Number 8, choose done over perfect. Number 9, follow baby steps. And number 10, time yourself or use time blocks. I hope these tips have been helpful. I know that they will be helpful for me. I'm actually going to post them right near my workstation so that I have that constant reminder of what might be causing my procrastination and how I can beat it. If you like this content, just leave me a thumbs up or leave a comment below and tell me what you use to beat procrastination. If there's something I left off this list that really works for you, I want to know. I'd love to interact with you guys, and I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.